Picture this. A young king, barely a teenager, stands alone in the sanctuary at Gibeon. The altar smoke curls around him as he closes his eyes and asks God for something no other ruler would dare request. Not wealth, not power, not victory over enemies, just wisdom. In that moment of radical humility, everything changes. Solomon's choice to seek understanding over dominance shaped an entire civilization, and it speaks directly to our modern crisis of information overload and decision fatigue. We're drowning in data but starving for genuine discernment. That ancient choice has never been more relevant. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin.
In our fast-paced, often chaotic world, the quest for wisdom often feels like searching for a needle in a haystack. We stumble through life, looking for answers, seeking clarity amidst the noise. This quest is timeless, and few figures embody the pursuit of wisdom quite like King Solomon. Born into a legacy of royalty, Solomon was the son of King David and Bathsheba, yet his story begins not with privilege, but with the weight of expectation. As the third king of united Israel, Solomon was chosen to lead his people, anointing him as a teenager at just 12 years old. Imagine the grandeur of ancient Israel, bustling markets filled with vibrant colors, merchants shouting their wares, and the fragrance of cedar wood being hewn for a monumental task. Solomon's kingdom was not merely a land, it was a tapestry of cultures, combining influence from the Euphrates to Egypt. One night, a pivotal moment, bathed in a silvery moonlight, unfolded at Gibeon. Solomon rested, his mind swirling with the responsibilities of a burgeoning kingdom. In a dream, God appeared to him, offering anything his heart desired. What did Solomon ask for? Riches? Fame? No, he asked for wisdom, an ability to govern his people with justice and discernment. This act of humility was the spark igniting a legendary reign. The teachings of Solomon resonate even now. His profound ability to listen and to seek understanding paved a path of peaceful governance. One of the most famous stories illustrates his sagacity. Two women approached him, each claiming to be the mother of a single baby. Tension crackled in the air. In a moment of astonishing brilliance, Solomon proposed to cut the child in two, a test to reveal the true mother's love. The real mother immediately relinquished her claim to save her child, teaching us the power of knowing when to stand firm and when to let go for the sake of love. But wisdom is complex, and Solomon's life wasn't without its dark turns. He was renowned for his wealth, collecting a staggering 666 talents of gold annually. Picture vast caravans crossing desert sands, laden with treasures and rare spices, their trails faint against the expansive sky. This wealth led to extensive trade alliances, yet it also sowed the seeds of complacency and excess in his heart. Worshipped by many, he took for himself 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of whom were foreign princesses. These unions, once diplomatic, veered into idolatry, leading him away from the very wisdom that elevated his reign. Amidst this prosperity grew a drift in his moral compass, and the whispers of dissent began. Solomon allowed the worship of foreign gods, angering the God who had bestowed wisdom upon him. A prophet foretold that his kingdom would fracture upon his death, seeing the rise of Rehoboam, his son, who would inherit not just the throne, but also the division of a once unified nation. The Hebrew scriptures attributed many insightful writings to Solomon, including Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs. These texts embody wisdom literature, offering timeless reflections on life, love, regret, and the intricacies of human emotion. They are ancient yet eerily modern, speaking to our struggles, desires, and quests for meaning. Consider Ecclesiastes, with its familiar refrain, "There is a time for everything." In a world obsessed with instant results, it speaks to the importance of patience, understanding that the seasons of life will shift like the tides. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressures of modern life, the relentless pursuit of success, the weight of expectations? Solomon's reflections provide solace, encouraging us to pause, reflect, and embrace the rich journey of living. In his latter years, as he faced the consequences of his choices, the stories began to morph. Rabbi tales whispered of Asmodeus, the demon who humbled Solomon, a narrative shaped by the king's own hubris. It hints at the universal truth that wisdom is not simply about knowledge, but also humility, a lesson for any leader. Amidst the glamour and the downfall, King Solomon's life teaches us to balance ambition with caution, wisdom with humility. We live in a time where confusion reigns, where choices can feel overwhelming. Like Solomon, let us seek wisdom and discernment, cultivating the ability to choose love over ambition, kindness over grudges, and ultimately, humanity over power.
If you're burning out right now, crushed under the weight of impossible choices and endless pressure, Solomon's story offers a counterintuitive path. This week, before making your next major decision, big or small, pause and ask for clarity instead of rushing toward control. Write down one specific question you've been avoiding, sit with it for 5 minutes, and listen. That's wisdom. That's the practice Solomon modeled. Subscribe to explore more figures who rewired how we think about power, purpose, and what it truly means to lead. Stay rooted in the wisdom of the ages.